We're just going to leave that there. HeliosAFlame, the undefeatable, against Wham. He doesn't have a cool title. That's his fault. He has plenty of titles and he just chose not to use any. Alrighty. So we've got Helios's Infested Hulker. Let's see what Wham's using here. He's got Single Purity Varroa, Single Purity Flamedon, and Single Purity Sleepers. So Wham is using a new Purity setup that we haven't seen yet. However, Helios is able to use that Hulking Sniper to do 8 damage to the Aerial Commando because Hulking Sniper does double damage to flyers. A little unfortunate for Wham is that Helios is prepared to deal with Sleepers. So he's going to put the Splitterbot and Infested Hulker out in Assault and let Wham try and handle the defense. That's true, Mercenary. You're very right there. Unfortunately, Wham is the one that's left not being undefeatable by virtue of not using the title. So Wham also has a Noble Protector available to him, so he's going to play out that Noble Protector in support and start setting up his defense. Helios is moving his Infested Hulker out very, very early, but that's because Wham is giving him the opening to be able to do that. Wham doesn't have too much of a defense. Helios is doing as much as he can to put pressure on Wham early, which is what you need to do against any Flamedon Purity setup. However, Helios does need to remember that if he's able to buff up that Bloodthirsty Dead whatsoever, that Bloodthirst 4 is pretty strong. So Infested Hulker is going to take out Candid, which means Helios will get that back. So that's just another 4/4 body, just like the Infested Hulker was. Bloodthirsty Dead's still sitting there at 4/4. Helios needs to be aware that the Infested Hulker will die unless he enrages it and it goes into combat with that Bloodthirsty Dead. I would prefer, if I were in this position, I would prefer to trade the Splitterbot with the Unthirsty Dead. There we go. So he's putting the Splitterbot in front, good call. That way he'll trade off the Bloodthirsty Dead and get the 2 tokens off of Splitterbot, and Infested Hulker will be just fine. So Helios top decks a give him a jetpack. Looks like Helios was expecting a 3 Overseers Pauper deck, which was being used quite a bit, and was actually used during the June League, week 5 yesterday. Hey Red Rosen, how's it going? So it looks like Helios is just putting as much pressure on Wham as possible. He's got the board position to be able to do that. He's going to fight the Infested Hulker onto Wham's Mortar Cannon. Good call. Wham does have initiative, so he might be able to get 1 tick of that Mortar Cannon off if he paid for it. I wouldn't be paying for it this early, but fight's going to go off anyways, so not going to do too much. Wham doesn't have too much to deal with Helios's board presence. So Evolving Parasite in front, Infested Hulker behind that. Evolving Parasite's going to be able to pretty much do anything Helios needs to protect that Infested Hulker. Oh, that was good. Helios played a Purify on, or I'm sorry, Wham played a Purify on Helios' Splitterbot. So no more Splitterbots for Helios. However, Helios does get that fight off on the Mortar Cannon, so he will get the Mortar Cannon back to his support by virtue of Infect from the Infested Hulker. Wham is now down to 38-71. Helios is at 84-86. Helios has lethal on the board if Wham is not able to defend against this in any fashion. So we'll see if Wham is able to do anything, maybe a fear to stop this, but without any characters on the board, Helios has a much harder mid-game than Wham does, and you see them talking about it there. Helios gets into the mid-game much faster than Wham's deck. This doesn't really look like a solid matchup for Wham, with his Single Purity Varroa and Single Purity Flamedon variant of the Single Purity Sleepers deck that so many people have been using in the May Pauper League. Well, Red Rosen, to be fair, in any card game, if you're looking to play some kind of an archetype, there's always going to be a deck out there that you just don't have the cards for. That's going to come with time and experience. In Infinity Wars, if you're talking about like epics and legendaries, you're not really going to need many of those. A lot of the decks that you're going to see about a lot of the decks that you're going to see in this cast today is all pauper decks, right? So commons and uncommons only. And the decks that are used in the meta, like at the high end of ranked, aren't too far off from these. The only reason they're different is because of the restriction list. So there's another mortar cannon. Wham did have a fear, and it goes off and is able to push back everything. Let's see if Wham's able to do anything off of that fear and follow up with a potential Band-Aid. I don't know what Wham's going to be able to do to stop this. Helios is putting the Brings Life by Passing and Support Drone in defense just as a stopgap to see if Wham is able to do anything potentially to follow up on that fear. Helios still has the Infested Hulker and the Recarl in his assault, and it's not going to look too good for Wham. Helios is just outscaling Wham beyond reason. That's a second mortar cannon that he's got. He is fighting something. Let's see what the fight's going on to. Okay, again, Infested Hulker onto mortar cannon. Varroa Kidnapper comes out from Wham and takes Recarl, so not too much that's going to happen there. That's GG for game 1. Helios over Wham. Wham got Heliosed rather than the other way around. Infested Hulker is Bay, apparently, for what's happening in these matches. So let's see Helios's Merlin Hulker. Nice name for the deck. I guess your legacy is being carried on, Wizard. So in the sideboard, he's got 3 Feast on the Deads, 3 Grave Robs, 2 Eaten by Zombies, 3 Anti-Air Missiles, and 1 Primal Rage. Anti-Air Missile is not going to do him any good here, but his deck has already proven to outscale Wham's infinitely. So we don't have Wham's feed, unfortunately, so we can't see his sideboard. But from what we saw in match 1, Helios does not have too much to worry about. And if this goes into a game 2, he always has Grave Rob, Eaten by Zombies, and Winds of War. So a very interesting turnout so far for Helios. Let's see if he's able to keep up that pressure going into game 2. Remember, this is a best of 3 series. In round 3, between HeliosAFlame and Wham for the May Pauper League. For those that don't know, the Pauper League is a series of weekly tournaments that I run personally. Will happen every Friday at 9 p.m. IWT, 2 p.m. MST. You can sign up on the Challenge website. I link it on the forums, Facebook, Steam, every single week. Just take a look at the forums and you'll be able to sign up. It is free to enter, and it is pauper decks only. So Helios is going to start off with a support drone, and that's going to buff up his Infested Hulker, as we have already declared Infested Hulker is Bay. Oh, definitely, Kieran. I was actually talking to some of the Infinity Council last night about some of our card collections, and I still have my first edition completely vintage Gravekeepers deck from Yu-Gi-Oh! And at one point I valued that, and it was like some crazy, like $550 all by itself. Necro Valley's first edition, all in mint condition and whatnot. Someone saw that deck posting, and they just flipped on it, and they're like, "You still have those?" Like, yes. What did I do? Is that bad? So Helios is going to put his Evolving Parasite in the front of the Assault Zone, and he's going to move it in front of the Infested Hulker. The Infested Hulker would take out that Bloodthirsty Dead. An Infest goes out. An interesting play. Infest comes out on Infested Hulker. So the Hulker is gone. That was Helios' big pressure. He does still have one left in his hand. He also still has 2 fights, a Primal Rage, and a give him a jetpack. So let's see if he's going to give that Hulker a jetpack. Right now he's going to fight the Infested Hulker onto that sleeper that he just created with Infest. Infest has a lot of value, and I'm happy to see that with the Purity setup Wham has, that he is indeed running Infest. So that was a good trade for Helios. He's left with a Bloodthirsty Dead and a support drone in his Assault Zone. He's now going to be able to put that Infested Hulker in the front there. Let's see if he's going to give it a jetpack. Going to open up the trading post. Going to actually shuffle away, give him a jetpack, and get a support drone for his troubles. For those that don't know what the trading post is, there are 3 options in the trading post. You can pay 3 resources to shuffle a card from your hand into the deck and draw a new card. You can pay 5 resources to outright draw a card, and you can pay 9 resources to gain a maximum base resource. The trading post is very critical to high-end gameplay, and if you're looking at being a high-end Infinity Wars player, you're going to want to understand the nuances of why the trading post can help you. So Wham puts out a filing cabinet. Haven't seen a filing cabinet in these games yet, and that's very interesting to see, especially with Wham's Purity setup. See if he's able to make any use of the filing cabinet. He's got a Flame Dawn Commando and a Varroa Kidnapper out. Looks like Helios is starting to scale a little harder, but Wham has definitely slowed him down. Yeah, Shimra, I'd be very interested to see if Wham is going to be able to keep his sustain going with this filing cabinet. So Bloodthirsty Dead takes out Candid. Bloodthirsty Dead has so much value. If you have single Purity sleepers and you get the opportunity to take 3 Bloodthirsty Deads, do it. Bloodthirsty Dead is incredible value. How often does one actually use the pay 9 to gain a maximum base resource? It's not used very often because most games are decided by the time that trade comes into factor. In most cases, paying 9 resources to gain a maximum base resource is only used to get you to 11 resources on turn 10, which allows you to play Calamity. So let's see what Helios is going to do this turn. He puts out a Hulking Sniper, puts his support drone, and brings life by passing in defense. Bloodthirsty Dead is still in assault. Remember, Bloodthirsty Dead has Bloodthirst 4 and is a base 7/7 right now, which means that if it goes into combat with another character, Bloodthirst 4 will activate and it will become an 11/11. That extra 4/4 is a buffer. It's not just a temporary increase. Another Infest onto Splitterbot, and he does activate the filing cabinet to shuffle away Stumble. So let's see if he got anything of value out of that. It looks like Wham's actually able to put that filing cabinet to good use. Let's see if Helios is able to put any more pressure on Wham before he can put that big hand to good use for him. So Helios' assault line, Bloodthirsty Dead, 2 Genesis constructs from the Splitterbot, and the 2/2 support drone. The 4/4 in defense just to take out that sleeper from Infest. And as you just saw Helios type to Wham, he said Infest is a genuinely annoying card. It's good that Wham has drawn 2 of them. Infest has incredible value. And if you have the Purity combination of Cult of Varroa and Sleepers of Avarak, Infest is a wonderful card to have. So let's see what Wham is going to do with this turn. Helios has activated a Zombie Gone 4K on the sleeper that Wham created with Infest, and he played out a Recarl to support. So Helios is just worried about keeping the pressure on him. The Zombie Gun goes off on that Risen. Doesn't do too terribly much, but that does deplete Wham's defenses even further. Helios does have a Primal Rage and 2 fights available to him. Let's see if Wham's going to be able to pull this off. We know he has at least 1 Fear in his deck already. When are the pre-orders for the new set done? They stop on June 13th. June 13th. So he gets the Risen back from Infect, and we'll play out a Hulking Sniper. Let's see if Wham is able to do anything. Like I said, we know he at least has 1 Fear in his deck. We're not sure if he has any more than that. Wham looks to be in a pretty bad position here with only 4873 left. Helios is still very, very healthy with 8472. A Varroa Kidnapper comes out and steals up that Recarl. So Helios is just going to do a little bit of damage here. Drop Bear goes out in defense. I don't see what Wham can do here. Wham looks to be in a pretty bad position. Another Drop Bear out to defense. He's likely going to enrage that. Primal Rage on the 6/4 Risen would take out that Varroa Kidnapper. Fight onto the Bloodthirsty Dead. What are you playing here? Okay, the Risen onto Varroa Kidnapper. So he uses a Fight Primal Rage combo to get that Varroa Kidnapper out of there while keeping the Risen in play. So let's see if Wham is able to do anything. Perhaps this is the time he wants to play Fear. I'm not sure what he's digging for, Eternal Mage. He's using Filing Cabinet for something. Perhaps he's looking for the same Varroa Magic Siphoner combo that he was able to get last turn. There it is! There it is! There's the Varroa Magic Siphoner combo. That's what he was searching for with Filing Cabinet. That is a lot of damage. GG. That was incredible. That was incredible. That's what he was searching for that entire time with Filing Cabinet. The full Varroa Magic Siphoner combo. He pumped the Varroa Magic Siphoner up to 44 with a Swift Strikes on it. The Fear Magic Siphoner combo was what he was searching for that entire time. Wham found it and was able to pull it out. That was incredible. An 88 damage Varroa Magic Siphoner combo in the very last turn. Wham, that was incredible. We move into game 3. Get whammed. Wow. Oh my god. That was really, really good. We move into game 3 of HeliosAFlame against Wham. This is our first game 3 of the tournament that I've shoutcasted so far. I'm still giddy about that. That's what he was using Filing Cabinet for that entire time, was to save up for the Varroa Magic Siphoner combo, and he pulled it off. He pulled it off perfectly. A Siphoner, a Fear, a Swift Strikes, a Lightning Blast, 2 Siphon Structures, and a Swift Strikes. 88 damage in the last turn. That was beautiful. That was absolutely... Wham! You received internet points for that, sir. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that again, but that was really impressive. That was extremely impressive. So Wham starts off with a Bloodthirsty Dead from command to support. And puts his Aerial Commando in Assault. Helios is going to play Fight. It looks like he wants to get rid of that Aerial Commando early. Yep. So Fight from Infested Hulker onto the Aerial Commando. That's going to give Helios the Aerial Commando back. That was really crazy. Yeah, that was sick. That was really sick. I'm still trying to get over that. That was crazy. I appreciate what filing cabinet was for Wham there. Like, we're all sitting here questioning, what is he digging for? And then he pulls that out. That was sick. That was absolutely sick. Alright, so Helios gets the aerial commando back from Infect, plays out a support drone and a Recarl. He's got a Plague Zombie, a Undead Corruption, Luca, and Splitterbot in his hand. Wham is sitting on a pretty big hand right now. Varroa Kidnapper onto Splitterbot. Evolving Parasite is going to take over that Bloodthirsty Dead, and that's going to do a little bit of damage to Wham's Fortress. So Wham is already down to 60-85. Helios obviously very healthy at 80 and 100. So let's see if Wham is able to pull off another miracle here. I'm not really sure Wham's going to be able to do anything of the kind, but oh man, that Varroa Magic Siphoner combo. It's not every day that you get to see one that's successfully pulled off that beautifully. Like, you can see one that's like being telegraphed because there's a Siphoner in support, and you know he's played a couple high-end cards to get some things off the field for a couple turns. He's clearly setting up for the Siphoner combo, but that was not telegraphed in any way. That was just out of the blue, holy crap, one-hit KO. That was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I might give Wham a trophy just for that Siphoner combo. That was sexy. So Helios is going to CTA the Kidnapper. That's going to give him his Splitterbot back. Wham does put out the filing cabinet. I'm not sure it's early enough for Wham to be able to do anything with it. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get there fast enough. So he's got 11, 28 damage on the board. That's going to leave Wham with 8 if all that damage goes through. Yeah, filing cabinet MVP for allowing Wham to get there. So this would be lethal if he's able to get through that commando. I know, right? Filing cabinet MVP, man. Alright, so CTA on the Varroa Kidnapper going to give Helios his Splitterbot back. Plague Zombie going to tear through the Flame Dawn Commando. That is 31 health, so Wham's down to 5. Let's see if Wham is able to do anything. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to put up much of a fight, but we saw how well that expectation went over last game. It is much earlier than what happened last game. Helios scaled incredibly fast. So let's see if Wham is able to pull anything out. He may have a fear in his hand. He may only be running one fear and didn't want to use it too early. We don't know. We just don't know. Believe in the heart of the cards. I don't think Wham has a Millennium Puzzle, but you never know. You never know, man. There's so many options. He might be Maximilian Pegasus. We don't know these things. This is a really big assault zone from Helios. Is Wham gonna let it go through? Okay, so there's the fear. Nothing to follow up with. So it was just the fear. Just the fear. It's me sitting down. I need to stand up. So it's just the fear. Wham didn't have anything to follow up with that. Helios still has a massive character board. So he has a stupid amount of board presence. I'm not sure if Wham's going to be able to do anything about this. Yeah, he needs a Destiny draw. 2 Splitterbots, an Enraged Drop Bear, Recarl, Aerial Commando, Luca. Yeah, and you can see there Wham's saying, I think that's it. This indeed does look like that's it. But that Siphoner combo. That Siphoner combo. Yeah, I know. I don't know if Wham's trolling him here or if that's legitimately it. It does look like that's actually it. Yep, that's going to do it. So that is HeliosAFlame taking the match against Wham 2-1. That was a really good series. That was a really, really good series. Wham, if you're watching, that Siphoner combo